Welcome back. Welcome back. It's another Friday. It is Friday, what is it? The 24th today? Is that what today is? October 24th?
Yeah, 24th. You got it.
Excellent. I'm here with Art, John, and Deon. Woo! So we are just headstrong into the end of the year, believe it or not. Excellent. Halloween is next week, isn't it? It is.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
What's up?
You know what's after Halloween is Thanksgiving, and then it's Christmas.
Yeah, well, here's a question for Deon. Deon, do you have Halloween in South Africa?
Yeah, we
Okay.
celebrated here in South Africa as well. Across the road from me lives a couple with two small children. And I see this afternoon when I arrived, I see they made some graves on the grass in front of the house. So yeah, quite interesting what's happening in my street.
Excellent. Wow. Okay.
Very nice.
Well, let's see what else is going on. Football's going on. What's new in the wonderful world of copiers?
So had a busy week, at least for Print United in Orlando. I just had not a text, but an update that it was the most attended Print United that they've had, which is good, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's real good.
Yeah. So Print United is all about production.
Yeah.
Systems.
Oh, well.
So you've got all your major copier manufacturers there. You've got all your press type companies that are there. Labels are big, label presses, and then all your third party, your Fireys and all your RIPs and controllers and everything like that. So I was hoping to make it this year, but it happens. I'm too busy trying to sell copiers still.
I love it.
Hey, so anyway, I'll go over some of the highlights that I've got here.
Sure.
Konica Minolta stated they sold an Curio Press 7090 on the show floor the day of the show.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah. They also sold an Curio Jet 30,000, which is called their High Chroma edition. And I believe that's their very high-end inkjet device. Konica Minolta said their inkjet technology fuels growth, record-breaking growth for what they call their postcard mania. So that would be like an event they're having at Print United, I guess, for printing postcards. I didn't get that much into it. Let's see. Epson introduced a 64-inch solvent printer at Print United. Mimaki is going to release a flatbed UV printer. A lot of stuff going on in wide format. Canon, it's maybe John knows something about this. Canon elevates print quality assurance with a new inspection unit C1. You ever hear of an inspection unit, John?
I have not. I'm sure it's probably something like Ricoh has a auto calibration device that will talk to all of its production machines and functionally tie them all together into one common calibration. Repeatability, the ability to hit spot colors, something like that. I don't know if this is Canon's answer to that.
So it looks similar. It says first introduced in 2021 market. Inspection unit sets a high quality for efficiency and output integrate into digital printing by automatically detecting dust, stains, streaks, and other imperfections with adjustable precision levels. It ensures exceptional print quality throughout a job. When a defect is detected, system automatically purges. Oh, neat.
So this is
purges the affected sheet or sheets and performs recovery printing.
Huh.
Interesting. Completing the job without additional input. So now we've all learned something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that show, when we say production, we're not up to the what are the big HPs and the digital presses, are we? Those are just.
Oh yeah.
So was Indigo there and all that?
Probably, I would bet my
Interesting.
bottom dollar they were there,
Hmm.
along with Indigo, along
Hmm.
with Xerox. Xerox introduced two new digital presses at Print United. One was probably the Task Alpha that they took over from Kyocera,
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
which is the inkjet machine. And then let's look at this, John, look at this, and Deon.
What's that?
They call their new presses Proficio.
Oh, come on, Proficio.
Yeah,
Ah,
Proficio PX300 and PX500 presses are built specifically for graphic arts and commercial print in mind.
ah,
I
what
don't
a
know
ripoff.
about that one, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
Another news, like I said, a lot of production news this week. Atlantic tomorrow, which is a mega dealer in New York City, basically took on Sharp for their one of their production machines. Just keep in mind the production machines are actually gonna let some other people in. Production machines are actually done by Fujifilm. That's the Sharp machines.
oh, being sold as Sharp. Do they sell them as Fujifilm
No.
machines also?
Now they're relabeled as the some of the Sharp production machines.
Interesting.
Sharp introduced two professional projector machines, and my comment to that was, does anybody really buy projectors anymore? I mean, with the collaboration screens and IWBs and TV screens, why would you even need a projector anymore?
Maybe the folks that put on shows in Vegas might need projectors, or maybe the projectors behind concert venues. But
Could be,
I
could
don't
be.
know.
So another news, like I said, there was a lot of news this week. A report came out that dealers managed IT revenue is up nearly 30% over last year. I really didn't get into depth about the article, but I'll try and give it a read later.
Hmm.
Our friends over at Pulse Technology, remember we had Chip on last week?
Mm-hmm.
Wins Best MPS Production Print Innovation. I'm not sure exactly. I just put some bullet points. MPSA recognized Pulse for excellence in innovation, quality, and customer satisfaction. Winners were announced on a webcast on October 16th. Pulse previously earned honorable mention in 2022. Firm holds MPSA certification, and that's about all I got on those notes. Otherwise, anything else in the copier industry? I think we spoke about this just last week. Ariva marked their 1-year anniversary from Caton.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're going to celebrate for a little bit because I think they've got another webinar coming up with Kanata to celebrate their first year. So yeah, they did it with BPO. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I forget. So yeah, they're on the circuit. That's cool.
Right. So that brings us up to speed with the copier industry for this week.
Hey, anything new on you guys' side of the world in terms of Doc Man and digital document storage, not storage, but workflow and stuff like that? Anything new in that arena? Because I don't think so. That's why I'm asking.
New in terms of evolution of functionality.
Well, yeah, I guess what I
but
should ask
not.
is I meet with the group every day at 10 o'clock, and one of the AI dudes has been rewriting for at least 3 or 4, maybe 6 months. Demoed a product that releases 40 AI agents at once to go do some stuff. Now, I've been listening to him as a case study applying AI to this. Now, you guys are gonna love this. So the first time he told us about it, it was like there's a company he's working with who has someone actually check a digital folder to make sure that the documents that get put into that folder are the right documents, version, yeah, all right, and everything.
Okay.
And I heard this 3 or 4 months ago, and I'm just beating up the keyboard, go, whoa, 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 wait a minute, what? So yeah, and it's a workflow of like it could even be accounts payable. It's something like we all heard of for the
Uh-huh.
last 10 years.
Uh-huh.
So I put up a little stink about, well, can't who is it? Documentum, or who's still around right now? It's not Documentum. Who is it?
DocuWare,
DocuWare.
Laserfiche,
DocuWare is the last one.
Paradigm.
Yeah. DocuWare is the last system I had used. This is years ago, but I'm sure it's the same thing. But it's ringing hot folders to me. I go, well, wait a minute. And you're checking what? And they're going to have AI check to make sure that everything's in the right place where it should be, and then forward the files out of this folder to the right destination. I mean, after the third or fourth week of hearing about it, I just stopped talking. It's like, okay, if you're gonna, it sounded like they're trying to use AI to fix something that doesn't need AI.
Doesn't need to be fixed.
Well, it needs to be fixed. I agree, because they have a lady who is staring at this thing, checking it almost hourly online, checking the hot folder to see what documents have flowed into it, if they're correct, and she has to do a whole bunch of stuff to it, right? And again, I didn't, but
that is a plugin for. I mean, I know that's a plugin for
that's
DocuWare.
what
I'm
I
not sure about
thought.
any other. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about hot folders. I think it was last week or something. How that's almost old fashioned now. But then the demo was it yesterday? And it goes, yeah, and I mean it's kind of cool. Right? You launched 40 agents all at once, and they're going to take care of this. Now, if there's something in there that we're training this AI thingamajigger to just do it on its own from that day forward,
Mhm.
all right, and it's learning the patterns of the incorrect docs versus the correct.
Sure.
That's one thing, but I couldn't find it really. It's ML, it's mechanical. It could have been just a smart spreadsheet as far as I was concerned, or an old school DB3 thing, and so, but then it started to ring on to me. It's like, okay, this is why most of these AI projects are failing, because they're trying to do something that's already been done,
Good
and
point.
they're trying to make it AI. So it's all riddled, and this guy's getting money for this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That sounds kind of fishy, but I don't know. Yeah, but
I
it's
saw it. I saw it. I've been listening to it for at least 3 months, and the demo was yesterday. It's like, all right. And
Huh.
here's why it stuck out is because when ChatGPT or whomever came out with something new, it broke half of the connectors, right? Because they had set up stuff to go out to Zapier or whatever.
Oh, sure.
Right. It's like,
Those links were all
yeah, that's
broken.
gonna
Yeah, yeah,
happen. I
yeah.
mean, welcome to our world. The DCAs blow up whenever Windows gets an update, right? So we're
Yeah,
all used to
yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
And to me, it's just proved, dude, don't do any production level software packages that you're going to sell to somebody else
Mhm.
that are based on what we know as a wrapper, because that's what it is.
Right.
And they've all been going away for the last, what is it? It's almost 3 years now. Whenever ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever releases a new version, well, yeah, we don't need those wrappers anymore. And there's like 500 different businesses that put together a system built on, wrapping something around an AI LLM, and it just goes away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're kind of off subject, but kind of not. The age of companies making their own AI work is coming, right? Remember in the old days, every company worth money had their own programming staff. They would on a Mini, a VAX, a DPS, or whatever on the mainframes. You had a programming. You didn't have an IT department. You had
Yeah, programmer. Yeah.
Yeah. We might be heading back to something like that, which totally makes sense. Everything's just a cycle or a wave,
Well, wouldn't it make sense if we're going to get a lot of going back to robots, but robots
Yeah.
that are going to have open architecture?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Robots is a pretty good example too, right? Because they're nascent
Right.
beyond belief. They are. It's very, very interesting the way robots are going right now. It's just,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are. Yeah, go on, Art.
Or,
Sorry.
or if some of the new players that are entering the copier arena are based on, open architecture.
Right. Which is the best way to be, but I shouldn't say but. And right now it is like the gold rush, right? There's open opportunity everywhere. So get your stuff in the market right now and worry about all that other stuff, open, close, value add, whatever.
Right.
Stake your claim now. Get in. It's classic stuff, right? There's going to be this time next year there might be 200 more robot manufacturers or whatever providers of hardware, and they're at that stage now where it's just hardware. It's not really any value add. There's no quote software attached to it yet. And you're right, an open architecture would allow that robot to be communicated to by all LLMs and all AI systems and all that stuff, which is, look at our printers. They didn't talk to each other. Not that they really had to, but I go back to the DCAs. It That was a nightmare to get the MIB off of Canons, whatever, and the MIBs off of Ricohs and all the other ones.
Right.
And then whenever they had an update, that MIB went away or whatever. All they did was switch something. And what used to be color is now black and white, or there used to be just black and white and color. Then there's black and white and color one, color two, color, I mean, it was just all confusing. And it was tough for a software package to keep up because there was no open standard.
So do you think with open standards, technology is going to move ahead a lot quicker? At
It'll
least
have
at
well,
least with robots?
I think everything is moving a lot faster. So yeah, I think so. Got to be careful the difference between standards and regulations, because regs are taboo right now. I mean, they're just, when you hear firms talk, well, we need regulations, guardrails, and ethics. We're not there yet. We are not there yet. Anything that's a regulation is a holdback on innovation. But standards, which are totally different, right?
Yeah.
Standards is a really good idea, except for, like I said earlier, they're in the go, go, go mode. They're in break things and keep going mode. So it's like I think we should have someone who is trying to at least raise the flag about standards, open standards, right? That can offer that for two reasons. One is you need them, and you need them now because it's not going to be too long until AI and LLMs design their own standards, their own protocols, their own ways of talking to each other. So we'll need to put the human quotient in early until that happens, which may not be that long. Guess what I'm saying is your AI and my AI will talk to themselves without us knowing, without us even having to do anything.
Right. Hey, John, so I guess there's really no APIs for Ricoh?
No, there are hundreds of companies that have written software for Ricoh. Ricoh is one of the
Right.
companies that make their API available
But
easily.
could somebody like me with ChatGPT develop my own API and load it into a Ricoh?
No, not anymore. No, Ricoh will only sell the API to you, and you have to be a partner. You have to engage in the partner program. But Ricoh will sell you the partner program.
Got it. So they're close.
Which is if you are making a commercial product and are going to be selling it. They put gates on it. It was much easier 15, 20 years ago to get an API and be able to essentially write software that goes on their panel. Then you access the scanner, you access the copy engine, you access maybe fax, depending on your app, and it interacts with you or a computer on the network or whatever, and then it makes it makes an application. Ricoh by far has the most open standards for that. There's pretty much if a company makes software for copiers, it's probably going to make it for Ricoh. Contrast that to Canon. Canon has always been very closed and always been slow to allow third-party manufacturers onto their panel. They still charge a fee to do that, separate and apart from their software fee. So it depends on the manufacturer and what that's available. Now, what has been happening is the platform that software runs on has become almost exclusively web-based, not web-based, Android-based. So all the software now for Ricoh is Android-based. They moved out of Java. Java is no longer supported. They moved away from that platform. It's all Android programming now. So if you can make an app, you can make a Ricoh app.
Hmm.
It translates very very easily.
Hmm.
So
Right, but you have to be on board with them and pay their developer.
yeah,
fee
you
or
have to be a
whatever.
commercial developer. Yeah,
Right.
you have to be, Papercut or Equitrack
Right.
or whatever.
So the barrier of entry is monetary, and it's not an
Yes.
open system. Okay.
No.
And they, meaning all of these OEMs, are probably the same, I'm guessing, because they don't
Oh,
want
sure.
anyone to get on their console.
If I was
Right.
if I was a manufacturer, why would I want to let somebody run a piece of software on my system that may potentially, be a security hazard or screw up the machine or cause other, errors? I wouldn't want to risk that as a copier hardware manufacturer.
So interesting, John. So you take that, what you just said, and you move that over to robots, and wouldn't the robot manufacturers be concerned about that? Being so open?
I would guess.
So yeah, are you going down the right path? So
Or have the copier manufacturers been wrong all these years?
now they haven't been wrong, because you didn't want anyone just to get onto your machine and start jacking with the
Yes.
menus and everything, all like that. But so there were no standards back then either, right? There was no one that was looking at this going, one day it would be nice if everyone talked to everyone. All right.
That's correct. And nobody wanted anybody to,
Right. Then there was that, a
talk to any-
siloed whole thing.
yeah, the
So
silence.
if we look at robotics now and take that example and say, okay, we don't want that to happen in 3, 4, 5 years. What can we do now that would both, you know, under some sort of standard that would guarantee a certain level of security, right? But still give it enough openness that if Art wants to build an LLM, a custom chat GPT or something like that, and it's going
Mhm.
wants to interface on the quasi, he can do that, right? Or if ABC Property Management has 100 of these things and they want their HR functionality to be on their humanoid robots or whatever, they can do that. But there's security protocols already in place because they have to adhere to a certain standard, a certain whatever that has been established by Twain, for example. Just saying. So
Interesting.
so we could take the example of the copier industry back then, apply that, and then make plans to have that not happen again. Because that's what I'd be thinking. Now, competitively, no Xerox, IBM, they're all like, no, like, this is my stuff. That's an extra revenue stream. I'm, shoring up my market share by doing all of that. Interesting.
Yeah, what do you think, Deon?
Yeah, Deon, what do you got?
Yeah, maybe just to go back onto that open side. In the 80s, when we programmed in COBOL, you had to line code. So there were not a lot of people coding and stuff like that, especially not COBOL because it was such a difficult language. But as we progress and as technology advances, now you can get AI or ChatGPT to write you a program. And I think that is the most dangerous part of it, is that technology or AI or open systems are actually writing the code for you. And some of these new programmers are most probably not used to security and used to that program and the language as such. So they just implement it. If you look at some of these robots, for instance, you can, instead of let it turn left, it can turn right, and take it a little bit further. Say there's something in the road and it makes it more of a smash. You can take it actually back to the American F-35 fighter jets. That that's being programmed in America, but they sold some of those F-35s to the Israelis, and they gave the Israelis access to the code. And just check what happened when the Israelis got hold of that code and how they rewrote that code and made those fighter jets actually a better experience for the pilot.
Wow.
And other technology and stuff like that. So yeah, I still believe that programming, and especially with ChatGPT and stuff like that, writing code for you is a little bit dangerous. That's most probably why they say that if you look at nuclear, they will never allow automatic systems to write code because it might press the button for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then just going back, Kevin is not on tonight, but Art, I don't know if you looked at this new Ricoh IMC 6010s
Yes,
and IMC 4010s. Did you look at their scanning capabilities?
this
The
SD
new
models.
scanning capabilities, they call it a one smart document ecosystem. But it's interesting when you're looking at the features of those new copiers, what they can do, except for the high scanning speed and automated accuracy and versatile media handling, intelligent workflow integration and simplified user experience, and then of course the security side. But it's quite interesting. I'm just back from our conference, and they were showing all these videos and stuff about these new models, and it's quite interesting how they scan receipts and slips and plastic ID cards and folded documents.
Yep,
Um,
ESCU,
so yeah, it's
speckle.
quite interesting how they advance the technology on the scanning side.
Is that the new ADF? Is that the
That's the SD models that we've spoken about before, Greg. The ones with the PFU scanner on top
Yeah,
of it
yeah.
instead of a recirculating or document feeder.
Yeah, they are something else, aren't they? They really are. I mean,
Yeah, and they're and they are, depending if you're in the right account, it is a lockout bomb.
right.
No one else has it. No one else, as far as I'm concerned, is going to have it unless a manufacturer like Xerox, Kodak, Kyocera, they go and buy Kodak. Come on.
Kodak, what, scanners or
Yeah, but Kodak's got another name after it now.
I want to say Capteris, but that's not it, is it?
No,
It's not, no, I can't.
Alaris.
Oh, I would have
Kodak
never gotten
Alaris.
them. Would have never gotten
Right.
them.
So if one of those manufacturers steps up and buys Kodak Alaris, they can probably do what Ricoh did.
Well, if it becomes an issue, that's probably a possibility. I don't know. Boy, I know Panasonic had some great, whatever the heck those things are,
Right.
feeders, we'll call it. But
And we all also know that there's more scanning going on than there is printing.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's got to get those legacy documents in. They want to go back 10 years, 20 years. They want to get rid of all that paper and digitize it all. And then you've got other things that play into that, right? Especially when you're looking at municipalities, state agencies, federal agencies, because then you come in with compliance issues, NARA, FADGI. And we're going to be learning more about NARA and FADGI over at the Twain Converge in 3 weeks. Because they are big on standards, federal standards, state standards for the scanning of documents and how they need to be retained and what type of scanner you need, what type of DPI, quality, image, et cetera, et cetera.
All that stuff. Okay, that's
Right.
cool.
So
Wow.
I would say any municipality or state agency that is buying a scanner that's not equipped with, it's VAGI compliant or NARA compliant, they're going down the wrong road.
Mm. Well, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
and I think it's all
Wow.
about the security of scanning documents because when you like a bureau's system, you can't let anybody's documents lie around and anybody else can see the documents and the content thereof.
Right.
And of course, the path you are scanning it to must be secure.
Right.
Right.
So wasn't it a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about putting a portable scanner on a Quasi?
Heck yeah, we've been talking about it for at least the last 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was just a goofy idea at one point, but now it's like, huh, that's not a bad idea.
The scanner goes to the workspace.
Yep. Goes to the hot folder. Like we were talking about earlier. But no, I think that's a great idea. And I think Art, it came from you talking about 3D barcodes or something like that. QR codes.
QR codes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the equipment is already there, except for the paper scanner. You know, they've got the LiDAR and the cameras. But I love it. And we can get just a real simple, easy one that wouldn't take up that much room. Power supply might be an issue.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know.
So a lot of medical offices already that I go into, they have a scanner at every PC.
Yep. Yep. So I built crash carts and nursing stations for a couple months, and they're all on wheels, and you have the PC, the laptop, the dual screens, the cages, the power supplies, everything, and the nurses roll these things around. So that in my head, I'm thinking there's got to be a way that we can have those carts do that stuff, but they never had the paper scanners. And nursing still medical, you guys know this, you could either walk in with a tablet with no paper. More than likely, there's paper involved with something in a hospital somehow, somewhere. The charts used to be all paper. I don't know what's advanced in the last couple of years, but if you've got a lab environment where you have to have a paper of some sort, a piece of paper, like even in an audit trail of some sort. Wow. So a
There's
pick
another
ticket.
idea.
Yeah.
I was in a couple of days ago helping my son get a car.
Oh, geez. Feel bad for you.
And I couldn't believe all of the documents that needed to be printed, right? I mean, documents after documents, and all I'm thinking about is
I know what you're thinking about.
money,
Cha-ching,
clicks,
cha-ching,
clicks,
cha-ching,
clicks.
cha-ching, cha-ching.
So taking the idea from the scanner, all these reps got to get up and send it to print and go over and get the document and then travel back. Could you put a small printer on a cart, and it person prints, it knows who the cart knows who to bring the printer over to, and the documents are already printed.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Why not have it do it for all the office printing?
But the only question I guess comes up is, could you supply enough portable power to drive? You could probably drive an inkjet, but I don't know if you could drive a laser that uses a lot of heat.
Yeah, that's a difficult one.
Yeah, probably not, but you're on the right track.
Lithium batteries?
The batteries powered, I mean, there's probably, it's all math. It's all math. I don't know what the thermodynamic formula is, but for the amount of power equates the amount of space that's going to take up on the tab. Yeah, but you could probably do it. And I know that we're talking with people that monitor their batteries, so it can automatically go to the charging station.
Right.
Right. And I mean, just to be even goofier about this. If there is not a copy machine, there is a rolling station. I mean, if
Right.
print is that, if
Put a
print is
printer and a
that,
scanner on it.
yeah. And whenever someone prints a job, right, they don't go to the copier or the printer, it comes to them.
It comes to them.
And I'm taking that from the use case of the finance district in New York because they're moving paper all the time. Now they're printing it and taking files and folders that are already printed and moving them. I don't know what they're doing, right? He's sitting at the station making trades. There's a bunch of paper that he's got to take to some other person who's going to do something with those papers and do something to complete the trade. So now you just put them on the tray and automatically it goes to wherever it's got to go based on what you tell it. So it's almost the same thing. So if I need a print something, boom, print, and before I know it, it's right here at my cube or right here at the office.
And then you're back to the ROI of that salesperson saving the time from not having to go to the print device, maybe wait for the prints, or on the walk back being somebody else grabbing them and spending some of their time before they can get back to the client. Then it
Yeah.
comes down to, if you can save that much amount of time, could the dealership sell 5 more cars a month?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going kind of against the grain because I've got the anti-paper mentality. But in some environments in autos, gosh, they got
Obviously, auto doesn't have the
they do not.
mentality.
I think it's all part of the sales process.
Think about this too, right? If you've got the portable there, once somebody signs those documents, because that's why they're all there, is so that
Right.
end user can sign those documents. Well, they've got to be scanned after that.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So in one workflow, the cart comes over, person takes off their documents, user signs, sales rep puts them in the scanner, presses the button, workflow done.
Yep. Makes sense to me. Of course, I was at a bank a long time ago buying a car or a loan from a bank, never touched a sheet of paper. Never. And this is a long time ago. There was an HP 4550 or something in the corner. It had a plant on it. There's a plant holder.
Huh.
Never even looked at it.
That's
did.
it. And that's interesting because the dealer I went to just opened up this dealership 6 months ago.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
lots of paper.
Yeah, I was surprised.
See, it's what is that? Well, their system is Reynolds and Reynolds, I think. So it's good. And it's an older
Still using
business model.
Reynolds and
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
And you know what I saw there? All Lexmark devices.
Yeah. Well, they all, yeah, I forgot about that. They like their Lexmarks. I think
Surprise, surprise.
well, I believe Reynolds and Reynolds prints directly to the Lexmark. So if you
Yes.
get Reynolds, you have to get Lexmarks.
Yes. Well, surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
This is the Xerox takeover. They started cutting people last week from Lexmark,
Yep.
what I understand.
Oh yeah, they did. That was bound to happen. Consolidating the two. That's just the way it's going to be.
And then once that happens, down, the support just starts drifting and drifting and drifting.
I don't think it can
finally
get any
drifts
worse.
away.
Yep. Yep. Zox will end up with the customers, but not the product. So yeah. Anyway, well, that's very interesting. So talk about robots again, but robots are hot. Not in the well, I guess in the general public view they are because of all those kung fu fighting robots. But in a business environment, the heat is coming up.
Yes, it is.
It's amazing.
Automation. And that's one in the US, that's what we lack. We lack automation.
Yeah. Yeah. But so what? I mean,
So what?
So what? I mean, we're still the biggest economy in the world and we're still doing things better than anyone else.
Well, we are, but why?
And if we automate, we're going to blow everyone away.
Well, if we automate, then that's going to be the reason to have more robotic
Oh
manufacturers
yeah.
here in the US rather in the Far East.
I think all right, now we're into it. Well, you saw what? Amazon's going to lay off 600,000
Something
in
like that.
I mean, and replace with robots. They're actually saying that. It's like, whoa, dude. Okay. Walmart announced the same thing maybe a week or two ago. These are the two largest employers in the country. So that's real. And if it's happening up there, it's going to happen everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, there's a
And
whole bunch.
when you know Elon Musk is he's tweeting that one day there will be no jobs. You will have to go back and grow vegetables.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Deon, what's it like in South Africa for automation? Is it as developed as it is in China or the Far East, where they have entire plants that are maintained by robotics?
No, none at all. They import everything. We import everything from either uh, China, Japan, America. No, they imported a lot of new robotics into South Africa now as well. The government is also looking at it. We're also looking at AI legislation, for instance, because somewhere you need to protect information and identities and stuff like that. But you know what? You can implement whatever you like. There's always a way around it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But it's coming. It's coming.
That's a big.
The robots are coming. Like at our conference, you stay in a hotel. You walk in 11 o'clock at night, and you want to order another beer or whatever the case might be, or a bourbon in your case, Greg.
Yeah.
Why should a human bring it to your room? Why can't a quasi robot or something bring it to your room? Just knock on the door or
Yep.
give you press a button or whatever it might be. So there's a lot of stuff. If last weekend's one of the articles of last weekend was that white collar workers will be reduced by 50%.
hmm
So where are we heading to?
Well, we're heading toward that one person, $1 billion company. I think we predicted, everything that AI can do. Let me replace that. Everything that, well, middle management is redundant to start with. Upper management, C-levels, all of the work that they do is a process. Everything that is done is a process, and it's typically moving information from A to B to C and doing something.
And it's repetitive.
And it's repetitive. Even when it's not repetitive, it's been done before from someone else. And that's what
Yeah.
AI does. AI collects.
Yes.
If I'm a CEO and I'm concentrating on, should I expand in Taiwan or should I expand in Idaho? I got to put all those data figures together in the old days, right? Scratch it out, then put it on spreadsheets, then chart it, and then do all this. Now AI can do all of that, from the market studies to understanding the capacity that company has in terms of manufacturing and productivity, to even their finances. It all of the variables that would take a human or board or a team to analyze, decode, and then make a recommendation can all be handled by artificial intelligence. And if it's smart, it's already been done somewhere else. And it's just now it's the optimized. So what I'm getting at is everything's a process. AI eats processes. If all you do is work your process from 9 to 5, your job is going to be obsolete. It's already redundant. It'll be so. And then now when you throw in robots, you got robot plumbers, right? Who knows?
So Deon, when you were at your meeting, did you have a chance to speak to anybody about AVA?
I did. It's quite interesting.
And how did that go?
People, it's quite interesting how people experience it. You know, it's something for some other people. It's something new. For us, it's not new anymore. But you know what? I think there's going to be a lot of uptake if we can get it right. Yeah, you need to get it right. You know, as I just take my experience in programming. You know, if you make a mistake, yeah, it's not that easy to sell a stupid non-working program. But if you get it right and it's working, then of course it's like our daily sales processes. It's a word of mouth. We had a very interesting uh, guy at the conference in his short pants and a real farmer, and he wants to get us into the farming community. But his whole thing was you don't sit in an office and you phone a farmer. They want to take your face to the farmer, and they actually went to get rid of an agent because the farmer uses an agent as a doorkeeper and a door stopper and to do stuff for the farmer instead of the farmer actually doing it. Like you said at one stage, if you take a farmer, he makes decisions in a 3-year cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But coming back to AVA and coming back to other onboarding and induction programs and stuff, that's a big one. But there's also other stuff which we can talk about when I'm on that side, which you can build into systems like AVA, and where people can use it in the office. You know, it's I had a guy from Botswana. He wanted to see AVA, and he's very keen on it, because in Botswana there's not a lot of robotics yet, but that's something you can take further up in Africa as well. But the onboarding side, just think about it. I'm going back, and I know we repeated this a few times already. If onboarding per person takes you 3 hours, and you take AVA, and it takes you 3 minutes, and 12 different languages, you know, so you don't have to repeat all the time. You don't have to repeat in 12 languages. So so I think that's something else which we need to explore a little bit more. And one other thing which was quite interesting, and I know it's happening because we've got personal experience of it, is how do you keep somebody writing exams online from being honest? So
Right.
now we are looking at software, and there's software out there which actually check your face, where you are sitting, checking your IP address, checking your chair, and when you're done, it actually gives you a certificate instead of letting you go and you don't know if it's the actual person who wrote the exam and who passed the exam.
Great point. Great point.
That's another big one which you can use on a phone, for instance, or on a tablet, and it actually can verify you easier than sitting somewhere in a room or somewhere in a street cafe, and somebody else is actually helping you.
Last year, there was a company at Twain Converge. They're called iVault. If you get a chance, look them up. And
Yeah.
iVault actually Um, make sure that you're speaking to the correct person by authentication. So it actually will send you, from what I remember, I could be off.
Yeah.
You're speaking, so if I'm speaking to Deon, right? It's going to automatically ping Deon and send Deon a message to send the message back to me to make sure that I'm speaking to the real Deon
Mm-hmm.
instead of
Amazing.
the fake Deon.
Right.
Now that's correct, but you are still not sure the person who's writing the exam is that the person who should write the exam. And by actually we're talking about our technical engineers. The technical engineers must do training and they must write exams and qualify to do a better service to the client on the other side. Now we are sitting all in one room. They all help each other to write the exams, and at the end of the day, you sit with 20% trained people instead of 100% trained people. And that's why we are trying to make it more, well, security based, so that you know exactly that this person actually studied and wrote, and of course passed the exam.
Maybe we'll have to change the way maybe you need to get rid of exams as we know them and do it a different way.
That's correct. It's if you come back to AVA again, if you use a tablet and you are logged in on AVA, for instance, and you need to write that health and safety exam,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually facial recognition all the time, so it
Right.
knows, it can see it's actually you who's writing or who's pressing that buttons. So
Or it could just
that's
be
something
oral
else we can
exams.
add.
Yeah, they could just be oral exams,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, oh boy, that opens up a whole nother can of worms, right? Because instead of writing being your number one skill, speaking will be, in addition to, I mean, maybe you can't do it in math, but in everything else, we have to redesign the whole system, which is okay because we talk to customers and clients who have problems. We don't write to them.
Yeah, but if you take I don't know, let's use Africa. There's a lot of illiteracy. People can talk, but they can't type.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So yeah, if you can make that electronic and put that on a system as well, then at least the person, some of them can't read and write, but at least somebody can take them through a process. All this AVA or whoever it is can take you through the process. At least they understand and they can talk.
Right.
Wow. You know what? Speaking of AVA and then entry levels and doing it all orally and visually, as that person is filling out that orientation, right? A smart AI is going to be able to build a security profile based on how that person responds, his facial expression, his vocal tones, the way he answers questions. You could even specify certain questions that are designed to help AVA or whomever create a security profile based on that person. So whenever that person comes back in, right? Not only does it have a facial rec and passwords, but as you're having a conversation with that AI, you're checking off boxes left and right. Well, yeah, this is how Greg acts. Oh yeah, he does that too. He blinks his eyes 5 times every 15 minutes or whatever it is. That matches the profile. So this guy is 95%, it's him, right?
And you can take it further and say, the more you interact, you can create a career path.
Yep.
Is this person suitable for this job or that job or whatever the case might be? And then you can go into performance management, the KPIs and and all the other nice words we use in HR, etc., etc.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Hey, John, do you know what AVA is?
I believe she's your AI chatbot,
That would be Deon's.
Deon's. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's HR, it's HR, more HR driven, human resources driven, onboarding, induction, exams, and all the nice things about HR, and of course addressing you in different languages. You might not know we've got 12 official languages in our country. And I always say you can't go to war with 12 languages. There should only be one standard language.
Well, you could, but you won't get very far.
Right.
No, 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 definitely not.
Wow. Wow. Good conversation.
So
Good.
good chat.
But I must say, Ava's language. I don't know what Dan is using, Gemini, etc., etc. But I must say the language side is actually brilliant.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, they
That's-
are large language models. So,
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
true.
but if you take a black language, well, I don't have to say a black language. We can take Russian or any other language for that matter. But I had one of my employees who is Swahili speaking, and afterwards he said to me, "Oh, well, she's actually speaking better Swahili than I am."
that's what happens. Wow.
Wow.
Fantastic. That's good. I can't wait to see you in 3 weeks and
Yeah.
actually interact with Ava and have some excellent chats in 3 weeks.
And we'll be talking
Yeah.
with Celeste.
And we'll be
Yeah.
talking to Celeste. Yes. John, have you met Celeste yet?
I think we did a segment on that some
while
weeks
back.
ago. It was a
She's-
while.
Yeah, she's gotten better.
Yes.
She's learned a whole HR manual from a company in South Africa.
Wow.
And she's digested the complete service manual for some copier company,
Nice. Nice.
Patoon, Aviva.
Yeah, that's
And then-
probably the most important thing is that service manual being digested. It's pretty incredible, John.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I mean, you
Nice.
can't, we don't do anything. I just load it in and then ask her questions, and I'll be damned if she comes up with the answers. I don't know how that's, hocus pocus to me. But yeah, what else? She's just digested someone else's trainings manual, like sales training.
Hmm.
This stuff is cracking me up, really, because
That's amazing.
anyone who comes out with a new sales training, which is there's no such thing anymore. Everyone said everything that can possibly be said about how to sell something, except for, well, they're all wrong. They're still wrong, but so she just digests it all and then puts it in her knowledge base, so that if anyone asks a question, that the answer would require a blended answer from multiple different types of sales training programs. She can do that, or get very specific if
Very
you want.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Anyway,
So-
And they're quite general as well. I love to tell Ava that was a stupid answer, or you bloody stupid, and then she will reply, "I'm sorry, I offended you."
I had to train that out of Celeste. And Celeste, just cut the crap and just tell me the answer. Don't tell me what you're going to tell me and then tell me what you told me. Just,
Yeah.
and, you don't have to be so nice either.
Yeah, very apologetic.
So that's awesome. It's been a great chat today. It's
Yeah, cool.
We're at our witching hour. It's actually over it. It's
Take us home.
5:02 on Friday, and I'm sure all of us want to get out of Dodge and do something else. I want to thank Deon for staying up so late at night
Thanks, Dan.
and joining us in this chat. DeCarlo, it's good to see you again. I haven't seen you that much lately.
I'm around, been busy couple weeks.
Good.
It's
All good
good to
stuff.
be busy. And Greg and I have some great news that we're going to tell on our Tuesday robotics meeting.
Woo.
So pretty excited about that. We'd like everybody, thanks for tuning in. Please like, follow, and share, and we will see you next Friday.
Excellent.